Welcome to this week of Fly Rod Chronicles. We're heading down to southern West Virginia to see our good buddy, Jacob Ott, one of the greatest guides in the state. We're also taking special guest Rick Heim, and we're doing something a little different. We're taking big, some people call these ugly, big ugly flies. I think that is artwork, but we're gonna throw these things. Come along with me as we go in pursuit for the fish of 10,000 cast, the muskie.
Let him fall right into the net. You got it.
Stick around, you're gonna love it.
Traveling the world, fishing, enjoying the great outdoors. Those are things that would have seemed impossible to me when I was a kid growing up in the mountains of West Virginia. I'm a lucky man, and I never want to forget it, and I'm hoping that sharing my experiences with folks will inspire them to do the same. I'm Curtis Fleming, and these are my Fly Rod Chronicles.
You know, it's early February here in West Virginia, and it is cold. It's abnormally cold. The only thing that's really going on in the state of West Virginia right now is a stonefly, a black stonefly hatch that is about a size 20, 22. That is not what we're going to be throwing today. That's what we'll be throwing today. Size squirrel.
It's one of those things, particularly musky fishing, that when you first start, you know, you're throwing these big giant flies and you're swimming them for days, sometimes without even seeing a fish. But it actually works. And when it works, it's nuts.
You know, Jacob is one of the most well-known guides in the state of West Virginia. We always wanted to do a musky show.
Been trying to convince him to come down for a little while and fish with me, but I was a little apprehensive. It takes a lot to catch muskies on a fly. We're throwing big rods and big flies, and it's truly one of the few times where being able to cast at distance is necessary.
You know, I'm pulling up Jacob's email here. He's got everything covered. This is what's great about a professional guide. We don't even have to bring rods. He's talking about the flies of each kind. The one thing that I really don't like is this getting up at 4:30 in the morning. But you know, he takes us through everything we need. 10 weights, bigger rods, 350 to 450 grain sinking lines. The part that I really am a little confused about is this be ready to throw heavy cast from 80 to 90 feet long. Apparently, Jacob has not watched our show. You know, another cool thing about Jacob is, you know, when you look at these photos or you go to his site, he's a fly guy. You know, we are Fly Rod Chronicles, so you know, Jacob was he was an easy selection for us because he's a fly guy.
It's a low game. You know, we're not going to land the numbers of fish that guys throwing gear will. It's one of those things you'll get a fish come in and follow, and you see that thing down there, or you know, you're figure eight and you're just going, why am I doing this? And then all of a sudden it works. You're like, holy shit, it worked. You know, when it works, it's awesome. And just keep at it. You just got to keep going and going. You got to go when the weather's bad. You got to go when the weather's good. And when the water's too high or the water's too low, you just got to go.
Jacob and I planned this trip during one of the best times of the year, the full moon in February. To up our odds even more, Jacob is bringing along his right-hand man and fellow musky fanatic, Demian Wyliff.
During full moons and new moons, particularly the day of and day after, the fish seem to be more aggressive. You tend to get more follows, you get more bites during those moon phases. Now, some are stronger than others. It seems like it's more important to us in the winter fishing.
Now, as you can see, we got some nasty weather. We're getting ready to hook up with our good buddy Rick Heim. He's a special guest, unbelievable fisherman. He is going to up our game and up the odds.
Really appreciated Curtis's call, inviting me to do this musky fishing. I'd never done much of it on fly rod, and sounded great.
Stick around. When you guys come back, you will see us on the stream.
Hey, there's a lot more going on in Fly Rod Chronicles behind the scene. If you want to check it out, join us on Facebook or Twitter.
Welcome back to Fly Rod Chronicles. We're down here in southern West Virginia and we're fishing for muskie. You know, Jacob said that this time of the year, February, can be some of the hottest fishing of the year.
You know, we're on the new. It's February. Weather's kind of going to be kind of tough the next couple of days. We got some wind moving in this afternoon, but tomorrow and the next day are looking like they're going to be a whole lot better. And we're going to go throw some big flies and catch some muskies.
So is that your bite guard?
Yeah. So we're running. I rig it really simply.
Yeah.
It's just 80-pound fluoro, 80 or 100-pound fluoro, generally to 50-pound mono.
I got you.
You know, and the whole thing about 6.5, 7-ish feet long. You know, we don't need much. It just needs to be tough.
After getting rigged up, we drifted out on the New River and began our quest to land the fish of 10,000 cast.
There you go.
Now, is that far enough?
That's fantastic.
Okay. I've not done a lot of musky fishing. I can compare it to saltwater fishing like for tarpon, but you throw in all the elements, you throw in musky. It takes a different breed. It takes a person that really wants to get out there and go after it. You have to be dedicated, you have to be willing to throw, you have to have little expectations. You know, Jacob is world class when it comes to guide. You know, he's the kind of person that he can see his angler getting maybe tired or getting down on himself or beating himself up over a cast. He's constantly that Dr. Phil of fly fishing.
That's all right. That's just one of them fancy curve casts.
That's all. He's constantly motivating you and getting you back in the game.
It can be tough, and it takes a special kind of individual, like short bus special sometimes, to stay on task and stay out there in the crappy weather and in the wind and the snow and the rain and stay focused just to catch one fish.
We fished and fished hard, and all of a sudden we looked down the river, and I said to my guide, I said, look at the fog down there. I said, we've got a fog bank moving in on us. And he said, no, that's not fog. He said, you wait a minute. And all of a sudden, the snow hit us, and I'd never seen anything like it. It was just like a blanket of snow came at us.
You got a lot of testosterone in those boats. Nobody wants to quit. We did get off the water a little bit early, and we're already beat up and sore, so it's time to go back, ice up the shoulders, and tie a couple flies on.
We're going to use a lot of synthetic materials and a little bit of bucktail, a lot of crystal, a lot of flash blue, and a lot of SF blend, synthetic fibers.
The articulated fly that Jacob is tying for us, it takes him like over 30 minutes to tie this fly. There's no way we can show this in a 30-minute show, but if you do want to see how to tie up one of Jacob's specialty musky flies, you can go to our YouTube channel.
It says take 2 for adults, and if you want musky fishing, take the whole bottle. I don't recommend that. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back right after this with more Fly Rod Chronicles. You guys leave me alone, man. I'm old.
Welcome back to Fly Rod Chronicles. You know, we're musky fishing.
Let's put this fly we tied yesterday on there.
All right. Now, did you name that fly?
No,
No.
that's just a big chartreuse fly.
Because we might name it today.
Well, we'll see. You catch something on it and you can name it.
All right. With the snow,
Yeah.
little murkiness.
Yeah, we got a little bit of color in the water, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Those big fish kind of feel a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
And hopefully you guys will get to see one eat right at the boat. We're in business.
What we got for lunch?
Chicken salad.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna see me eat up close to the boat today too. This is awesome. I'm ready.
Cool. All right.
I'm jacked.
There
Thank
we
you.
go. Let's do it.
All right. Oh, it looks good, don't it? A muskie is a fish of 10,000 casts. It is a lot of casting. But you know, the more that we got into this, and you get a couple follows, or you get in an area where you know there's muskie, I'm starting to get into this. I am liking muskie fishing.
It's not high volume catching. It's we're out there hunting the top predator in the river, and we need to stay sharp and stay focused, because if you're not ready, you're going to blow that shot, and it might be hours, it might be weeks, it might be days between eats, and if you don't stay on top of it and you're not mentally prepared, ready for that fish to attack on every cast, you're not going to get him when he does.
I have the personality of being ADD and getting off track. Jake kept me focused.
It's a good spot. We've caught several down this far in this hole. Tight, get tight, get tight. Pull. Get tight. Oh, God. I was that far away from dropping the oars and grabbing the net. Shoot that back out there. Let's get him for reals this time.
I'd get a tree trout sometimes, and I swore that the tree trout would head shake on me. I mean, that actually builds more anticipation because it actually feels like a fish. But
Just get tight.
no,
It's a log.
I look downriver, and Rick has a bent rod. This is not a tree trout. This is for real.
You know, you concentrate so much on waiting for the strike, and about halfway through that hole, I get a fish on and set the hook probably not hard enough, and it comes up and rolls, and of course gets off.
Oh! Get it, fish it. Figure eight it and fish that fly.
The number one issue I see with folks when they come out and try it is the hook set. It, to me, is the hardest thing to connect on. You have to keep stripping, taking up as much slack as you can, and when it comes tight, you hit it again and hit it again. And when he turns, and you'll feel that turn, you'll feel that weight going away from you, that's when you set the hook. You want to have that rod butt in low and set the hook with the rod butt, not with the tip. And there's not a lot of meat there to get on. You've got to push through bone often, or around a bone.
And file that hook sharp so it'll stick into your thumbnail instead of skating across it. Let's get him.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Rick gets his redemption as we put a nice muskie in the net. You don't want to miss this.
There you go, Rick. Let him fall right into the net. You got it.
Yeah, baby. Ricky, baby. That's my man. Hey. Yes, sir.
It takes a lot to catch muskies on a fly. We're throwing big rods and big flies, and it's truly one of the few times where being able to cast at distance is necessary. And surprisingly, he's done a lot better than I ever expected. We've been out for 3 days and just working it in bad weather and in good weather. And Curtis has been there just bombing long casts and big flies all day long.
Curtis I couldn't believe we were upstream from him most of the time. And I don't know whether his line was not freezing up as much as mine, but he was throwing some casts out there, probably 70 foot, and it was It was just a beautiful experience being there. And West Virginia is just unbelievably beautiful. You don't realize how pretty it is until you really get out there and get a good look at it. It was just a great trip, and I really appreciate Fly Rod Chronicles for including me in it. It's a real honor to fish with those guys.
It's not all about catching. Yeah. If you want to pick a sport and say, you know what, I want to be a catcher, I want to catch. This ain't it. No, Musky ain't it.
It's exciting when they show up.
Yeah. And I'm sure when we land one, you know, it's just the ultimate, you know, because you know how hard you fish for that one fish.
As we're going downriver, the sun is getting lower. We're starting to lose a little bit of that enthusiasm.
It is a numbers game. And Jacob told us this at the beginning, and he's like, you gotta get your fly in the water. It's about how many casts you can make, how many times you can put it in the water and keep it moving. And it's not over yet, but the hefty lady is singing. I can hear the choir.
She's gonna be singing on the end of the line there shortly.
That's what I want, that hefty lady.
The biggest thing when it comes to musky fishing is in your head. You know, I've been telling Curtis the whole weekend, you know, muskies are like ninjas. They're everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and they're gonna attack when you were least prepared and least expecting it.
There he is.
Rick locks into this fish. The excitement just goes crazy on the river. You got guides constantly giving Rick information on how to land this fish, what to do.
Keep it tight. Don't worry about the line just yet. Keep it bent as tight as you can. Put a little bit more of a bow into it. There you go. You're going fine. More bend. See how straight that tip's getting? There you go. Good strip. Strip again. Strip and lift. I don't know how well hooked he is. I haven't seen the fly yet. You're doing great, buddy.
Demian, hold on. I'll slide up with the net.
Are you anchored? Yes, I'm anchored.
It's amazing how hard they fight, and particularly on a fly rod. We thought it was a small fish at first.
Oh, it's a little fish. Yep. 32. He's about 32.
But then it came up and rolled, and we realized it was a nice sized muskie, and it's amazing how hard they fight.
He's more than that. He's a little better than that.
Yeah. You know, watching somebody catch their first muskie on a fly, there's the only way I can describe it is awesome. I've yet to run across somebody who doesn't get crazy excited and everything doesn't go nuts.
So I'm ready to hand the net to Demian, and all at once I am in the position to net this fish.
There you go, Curtis, just get it underneath of him.
And I'm thinking, I have got to net this fish. If this thing goes south, it falls on me at this point.
There you go, Rick, let him fall right into the net. You got it.
Yeah, baby. Ricky, baby. That's my man.
Good enough.
Hey. Yes, sir.
All right. That's a good fish.
You the man. Good job, brother. Right there.
It was like scoring a touchdown in a playoff game. I mean, to see Rick's face, to see the camera guys like, we just did this, it was unbelievable. You know, that is the allure of musky fishing.
We're catching fish that are 40 inches in little rivers, and they're big and got teeth, and it's crazy. It's the craziest thing we can do with a fly rod.
Great experience to catch that on a fly rod. Hope to do it again.
Jake, he's released these all his life. This is what he does. I'll hold the net, we'll let him release it, shoot
Sounds
upstream, and we'll go from there. How's that?
Good. You hold that.
Okay.
How about the net?
It's time for this week's Trout Unlimited Release of the Week.
Look at that, look at that. Look at that guy. Go up. There he goes.
There he goes.
You know, the fish is why I pack my bags. It's what makes the camera crew come together and get excited. But you know what really excites us more than anything? It's you, it's the people. It's the people that we get to spend our time with.
That's awesome, man. Unbelievable.
Nice job, the invite. Nice job.
Fly fishing down here with Jake. That's Fly Rod Chronicles. We try to outdo what we did last week, a 40-inch muskie on a fly.
Hey,
Where are we
that's
going?
a good place. It's 50 inches.
Rick,
Doesn't get any better.
you're the man. You come through, though, on Fly Rod Chronicles. Next season, it's Fly Rod Chronicles with Rick Heim. That's where we're going.
I like it. That's got a sound to it.
It's got a real good sound. It's called Fired Curtis. Hey, had a good time, man. This season's been unbelievable. Jake, if it wasn't for
My
God.
pleasure. It's been a heck of a day. Nice
Thank
job.
you.
Rick,
And
thanks.
Jimmy, thank you.
Yep. Come back next season with more Fly Rod Chronicles.
I'm just a fishing bum. If I don't have the gas, then I stick out my thumbs. I've gotta get there one way or another. I'm a fishing bum.